I am Jude Janita, working as the Assistant Professor in Department of Chemistry, Government College of Engineering, Bodi Nayakanur. We will be discussing about nuclear reactor and geothermal energy. Nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is energy released during the nuclear fission or fusion, especially when used to generate electricity. For instance, nuclear power plant produce tremendous amount of electricity. In medical the field, nuclear the fission is used in different medical treatment. Nuclear the fission is the splitting of uranium. Nuclear the fusion is inside the sun, hydrogen nuclei fuse together to form helium, creating the heat energy that warms the earth. In nuclear the fusion the reaction, two smallest atoms join together to form a large atom with elimination of large amount of energy. In nuclear the fission the reaction, uranium-235 is bombarded a neutron to produce two radioactive isotopes. Causes of the releasing of energy. The energy changes associated with nuclear the reaction are about millions of times more than those associated with chemical reaction. These are determined by Einstein mass energy equation E equal to del mc square. Del m equal to m minus m dash. Nuclear the reactor. Nuclear the reactor is a device which produces the enormous amount of energy by controlled chain reaction. Nuclear the reaction in nuclear reactor. In uranium the 235 is bombarded with neutron to produce two radioactive isotopes like krypton and barium with elimination of three neutrons and a large amount of energy. Among the three neutrons, one neutron is react with another uranium the 235 to produce two radioactive isotopes and three neutrons. The propagations of the reaction by multiplications in 3 at each fissions. Components of nuclear reactor. Reactor core, reflector, pressure vessels, shielding, heat exchanger, coolant pump and feed pump. Nuclear the reactor. This is the reactor the core. Reactor core is the part of the nuclear power plant where the controlled the fission the reaction is made to occurs and where heat energy is liberated. It consists of fuel rod, control rod, moderator and coolant. Fuel the rod is uranium the 235 are arranged in tubes which initiate the nuclear the chain the reactions. Next is the control the rod. The control the rod which is the suspended between the fuel the rod. The control the rod is to control the chain the reactions is possible either by raising, withdrawing or inserting the control the rod. Then it is the moderator to reduce the kinetic energies of the fast fission the reaction to slow the neutron. Coolant. The coolant is to remove the intense the heat the produced in the reactor and to bring it out for utilizations. It cool the fuel the core. Then pressure vessels. Pressure vessels encloses the core and the reflector. It provided the entrance and exits the passages of coolant. Next is shielding. The concrete, the chamber, it encloses the nuclear, the reactor. Gamma the rays, neutron and other the radiations come out from the reactor so that there is no hazards to persons in immediate vicinity. Then heat exchanger. Heat transfers the heat liberated from the reactor, the core, to boil the water and get steam. Turbine, the steam at the high pressure generated into the heat exchanger is used to operate the steam turbine, which drive the generator to produce electricity. Condenser, the exhaust, the steam is condensed and sent back to the heat exchanger. Uranium the 235 and plutonium 239 is act as the fuel the rod. Cadmium or boron is act as the control the rod. Graphite or beryllium or heavy water is act as the moderator. Ordinary water or heavy water or liquid water is used as a coolant. Other component in nuclear the reactor is reflector, pressure vessels, shielding, heat exchanger and coolant the pump. Coolant the pump maintain the flow of coolant and feed water the respectively. How does the nuclear the reactor the works? The fuel the rod initiate the nuclear the reactions. The hot water the come out the pressure vessels and enter the container with the sea water. The sea water is boiled with the help of the hot water and the steam arises in the container. The coolant cool the hot water and send it into the pressure vessels. Again for nuclear the reactions. The steam the formed from the sea water goes to the turbine. The hotter the steam, faster the turbine rotate. As the turbine rotate, the electricity is produced from the generator. Advantages of the nuclear the reactor. The nuclear the power plant need a less space and not affected by adverse the weather conditions. The operations of the nuclear the power plant is more reliable. The nuclear the power plant produced valuable isotope which are used for different the purposes. Disadvantages of nuclear the reactor. The disposals of the nuclear the power plant is big problems. Second one is the installations of the cost is very high as compared to other power station. The uranium decomposes into harmful radioactive isotope is eliminated. Geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is heat within earth. It is a renewable energy resources. Hot water deep in the earth that are assessed by drilling. Geothermal reservoir located near the earth's surface. Geothermal power plant. Geothermal power plant draw the water from underground reservoir to the surface produce a steam. The hotter the steam, the faster the turbine rotate. As the turbine rotate, the electricity is produced from the generator. The steam from the turbine goes to the cooler where the condensation takes place. The cooler the water return to the underground earth through the injection well. The uses of the geothermal energy. The geothermal energy is used in various the field, heating and cooling of building through the geothermal heat pump. Another uses is it can be used for drying the crop, heating water at fish pond, pasteurizing milk and drying the fruit. Advantages of the geothermal the energy. It is a reliable as compared to other energy resources. Massive energy is the produced from geothermal energy. It is a naturally occurring the resources that does not requires the fossil fuels. Thank you.